Hey, what's up? It's Jorge, and in this video, I want to talk about something that is emerging for me as an offering from seeing how many teams out there in all different ranges, from tech companies to startups trying to develop a new organization to eco villages. So, how some teams have difficulty in collaboration, essentially in creating a species of relating that it goes more than just the daily work and the superficial level of interaction that the humans need to meet. So what I want to talk about in this video is some of the tools that I have been gaining, but also I want to start with some of the problems that I've seen and that I keep experiencing, and that I see there are major blockages for teams to collaborate and really to go beyond the normal level of collaboration, the normal level of I go here from 9 to 5 and do this thing for you, and then I go home and I have my other life. And what I'm talking about is a collaboration that is intimate, that is feeding, that is nourishing, that is really fits the purpose of someone's life. And what I've seen most often happening in teams out there is that is a few different symptoms. One of them, the biggest one, is burnout. Burnout from people, burnout from having the leadership roles, having to hold so much responsibility, so much is on them that it's cycles of burnout that keep coming back. And this is considered the normal thing. Like, this is normal. Okay, yeah, like, I'm a leader, I'm taking a stand for this, I'm gonna experience burnout, and I'm gonna experience betrayal from people and people who's lacking the commitment that I have, and I'm gonna experience this, and it's like almost taken as the normal thing. And this is one of the things that I want to put some possibilities out in this video about what can be done about that, and what is something that is regenerative, something that will create something else, another possibility for your team. Another problem that I see in the teams is the giving away of their responsibility. So the people that are at the top are holding more responsibility. They're taking a stand. They are saying, like, this is how it goes, this is how I want it to go. I am the one that is taking a stand for this, and I'm gonna say how it goes. It happens in tech startups with the CEOs. It happens in eco villages with the people that are really taking a stand, saying, I'm gonna steward this land, I'm gonna be here in this land. And the people that are taking on that role at the top, which is of leadership. And so these people at the top taking responsibility, and the people at the bottom, they give the responsibility away to the people at the top. And this is a natural occurrence of the hierarchy, which I'm gonna talk a little bit about later. But this is another thing that I see, that in hierarchical cultures or in hierarchical organizations, the people that are at the bottom, their programming or the tendency in that form of program, in that form of organization, is to give their responsibility away for the people at the top. The other problem that I see happening is that the culture of the organization doesn't have transformation, evolution, and healing at the core of it. So it tends to look good on the outside, and it looks like it has a certain shape, but it doesn't have this life force running through it that creates transformation for the people inside it and for the organization itself. So it doesn't create a space for the members of the organization to evolve. So the members of the organization, they have to have a certain quality, a certain standard that they need to meet for the organization to run. And this, again, this is normal. This is a lot of what I'm saying is like, yeah, of course, Why wouldn't it be like that? That's how it is. That's how life is. That's how organizations is. That's how business is. And all of these different, this is how it is kind of thing. Well, what if I told you that this is not how it has to be? And I'm actually saying, like, I don't want it to be like that. I want something else. I want something else to become possible for me, who is someone who's looking for a community, someone who is being immersing in himself in different communities, and also because that's the edge. Like, what about creating something, inventing something where that is a possibility, where having your heart's desires being fulfilled being a possibility, where bringing in all of the different parts of you, the parts that are crazy, the parts that are angry, the parts that are depressed, the parts that are insecure, the parts of you that don't know, the parts of you that wants the whole world and wants to experience love and to be loved, where all of that is possible in the teams that you are in. And this is what I want to bring as a possibility in this video. And this is gonna be a short video, kind of like summarizing the skill sets, the upgrades of thoughtware, because there is the default way of running a team, this normal, how we know, and how we expect to run a team, how we expect that an organization or a business or whatever kind of team you have, how it should be running. So there is in this video I'm gonna share some of the upgrades that you need to take your team to the next level. And this is for your own sake, because you want this. You want a team where resentment is not a normal thing, where the emotion, like, where there is space for the evolution of the team. And this is not for you if you are happy where you are, if you are happy with keeping the control of what you are creating, and it's kind of working for you. You might be experiencing some burnout, but you can handle it. Maybe in a few years or in a few months, when you hit a burnout stage again and you experience the heartbreak or the impossibility of running a team in the standard way of doing it, and how that runs your energy out. And you're going to want to know these regenerative practices that I'm gonna share here. So I'm gonna start sharing the practices, and I'm gonna start with that this is a shift of your being. The way that your being is right now is manifesting or is materializing the organization as it is. So for the organization to change its shape, to go into its potential where something else becomes possible, it all starts with you, with how your shape is right now. This includes the beliefs that you have, the stories that you have, expectations, the concepts and ideas, even the purposes, the purpose that you have, whether it's conscious or unconscious, and both of them. So this shape that you have right now is what is creating the structure of the organization, the team that you have right now. So whatever shape you have right now is creating that. So for changing the organization shape, it starts with examining those decisions or those conclusions that you made about what it is to run a team. This will start with questions like, who is the boss? Who is in control? Who is holding space for this? What is this space about? What is this organization about? What is my role in the organization? What is the potential of the organization? How does this organization thrives and sees itself running, and also on the pain side of what is causing the burnout of this organization, of your being, what is causing you to be tired of being the main space holder and not having somebody, not having others around you who are also holding space for the organization. And all of this, so these questions will start bringing in a sort of alignment inside of you, and the suggestion will be to find a space holder to write down all of these questions that I just said, put them in a notebook, and start answering one by one. What comes up for you when I said this? What is stopping your organization from being in its full potential? Again, it might be that you have control, that you want to have control of the organization, and you don't want anybody else to touch it, because if they touch it, then it's gonna change. And again, there is ways of doing this in a way that is regenerative, in a way that you are turned on about it, in a way that is an honor, and if it's feeding and nourishing to take a stand for how it goes in the organization, for example. So it starts, that's the first step, will be looking at your shape and what parts of you are manifesting that thing in the past, that thing in your organization. What happened for you in the past where you had to hold on to the organization, otherwise it would start writing. Find out what that is. What would it take for your organization to be run by others more than just you? What would it take for your organization for you to kind of pass down these responsibilities that you have onto the group intelligence, onto others? Which takes me to my next point. The next point is a regenerative tool that creates an ambience, a system of regeneration. And this is the tool of replacing yourself. So replacing yourself, it's a tool for delegating that thing that you are doing right now to the next person, training the next person in what you're doing right now so that you can be free to do the next thing. And this might be that you have to train one person, or that you might have to train 10 people, or that you might have to train 100 people to do the thing that you are doing. It depends. It really depends on what it is and what level of responsibility it takes. But this practice, this foundation, it's a foundation of the organization. And one of the rules, or one of the things that run your organization, is the tradition of replacing yourself. And when you're taking on a new position, you don't just leave that position, you don't just move on to the next position, you replace yourself before you move on to the next position. And this is something that you can start doing right away. You can start shifting that mentality of the person that is holding that position is responsible for replacing themselves, for finding the next person who's going to replace them before they can move away from that responsibility, the spot of responsibility that they are taking. And what this creates is a sort of like a chain reaction that starts making these, starts enabling and empowering the people that are in the organization to take responsibility for what they are taking responsibility in that moment. They cannot just drop it. They cannot just say, oh, I got a promotion and I got moved to here, or I'm gonna drop this. You replace yourself. You find yourself, start looking for the people, take responsibility for finding the people that will replace you. So this takes the skill of, this will take the skill of taking a stand for the thing that you care about. And this will take me to also my next point, which is the initiations. You need in your organization certain initiations that allow the members, the people in the structure, in the organization, to level up, to gain more capacity to take responsibility for stuff. This is growing up, taking responsibilities, getting closer to reality. We live in a responsible universe. We live in a universe where you throw a pebble in the water and there is ripples. For every action that you make, there is a reaction. So this tells us that responsibility is a principle of the universe. So what is irresponsibility? Irresponsibility is an illusion. It's a completely made up thing. There is no such a thing as irresponsibility. So somebody who is being irresponsible, who is not responding to life, to feedback, to questions, to being called out, this is someone who is living in a fantasy world, who is living away from reality with a what do you call this, like isolated from reality, in this idea that you can be irresponsible. But even irresponsibility is a response. It's an action, and it has a consequences. And the consequences of irresponsibility is that you don't get the results that you want. You don't get the results that you intended to create. You get something else. So if you're able to implement initiations into adulthood, which is adulthood is coming into the totality of yourself, which coming into your power, the power that you have of creation with your voice, with your actions, putting your mind, your heart, your voice together, your physical body, and creating a result that you want. This is the process of adulthood. And having initiations as something foundational to your organization, it creates this space where human beings have the space to grow, where somebody might start with this much level of responsibility in your organization, and there is a place for them because even that much level of responsibility is bringing in some value. And then the initiation, they start expanding the level of responsibility that being is able to take, and there is enough space in the context of your organization for that being to grow, where this new level of responsibility and a new gain capacity to take on more, it has space for it, that you don't have to manage it, or you don't have to kind of like track it or do work about it. It just has space for it. And there is a way for implementing these initiations into your organization, and every organization will be different about the initiations that will make this possible. Some of the hints about what are the initiations in your organization will be what are the tasks that are needed for that being to evolve. What is the next step? What is the next step for that being to take on more responsibility? And you go on with this question about, okay, where is that person kind of like putting away responsibility, going home, having their other life, and then coming back, holding this level of responsibility? What is their next question? What is their edge? Where are they needing to grow? Is it that they need more communication skills? Is it that they need more relational skills? Is it that they need to be more grounded into the air, more connected with the material world, with money, or the physical reality of food, or the space where they live? Is it that they need to learn more about being organized, or is it more about that they need to a model? What map are they missing? So then, as your organization itself, it will have these questions running. Your organization is an alive thing. It's an intelligent being. If you can see your organization not as you running the organization, but that space is alive and you are part of that space who is giving it life, but it has its own intelligence, then you can see that that space has its own intelligence and has his own processes, its own ways of deciding, of bringing in people, bringing them out, initiating them, moving them on to the next thing. And you can radically rely on the intelligence of your organization to run your business, to run your non-profit, to run your eco village or your tech startup, whatever it is. This is the intelligence of your that organization. So that was the 3 things that I have for you in this video. There is more. There are processes to go into each one of these steps, and there is processes for the people who are organizing, the main organizers, and also for the whole members. And this is an ongoing process. Like, even if you can increase the level of responsibility that you are taking in your organization by 1%, that could create a massive change inside of how you run the organization. So I hope this video excites you and turns you on about creating that possibility for you to have an organization that can run on fire, that can fly, a team that can really be alive and transform and create different results than what you're creating right now in life. I see that many of these organizations, they're running at about 10 to 20% of their potential. And with these distinctions that I just shared here, you could up that potential to get to like 50, 70, or 80% of the human potentials when they're working in group. So if this turns you on, start applying these distinctions, these tools, and find a way that you can make this happen, because it will be really worth it for you, for the planet, and for the changes that you're trying to make in the world. My name is Jorge Pedret. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.